You know, this guy was well on his way to becoming a Boston Bruins superstar. He was showing great promise coming out of junior. A big drink of water, 5'11", 185, a good playmaker, a good shooter. Playing on a line with Rick Middleton and Mike Krushelnyski helped. But a weird ailment that messed up his shoulder, it wasn't cancerous, but it was a tumor that messed him up. Pretty well derailed his career, and he went from the top echelon to being a role player. And he was eventually traded for Cam Neely and Glenn Wesley in that rough deal for Vancouver, where he wanted equal value coming back, and Cam Neely almost won a Stanley Cup by himself for Boston. So today we're going to be talking about that big man from Big River. I really respect this guy. He went through a lot, but never complained, and still remains a favorite with Bruins and Montreal Canadiens fans because he stirred the drink with that rivalry in the 80s, Barry Peterson. Now, he played in the NHL between 80 and 92. He finished second in the NHL awards voting for Rookie of the Year in 82 and was a two-time NHL All-Star. He won a Stanley Cup in 91 with the Penguins. That's coming over from Vancouver. So he played a lot bigger than what he was. You would think this guy, the way he played, was 6'2" or 6'3", but the idea of him in that very strong 1980 NHL entry draft, Barry was one of the prizes. Now, Boston was good to get him at 18th overall. Now, again, playing the majority of his junior in BC, Nanaimo and the BCHL were 118 points in 77. He split time between Nanaimo of the BCHL and Victoria Cougars of the WCHL with 52 goals and 158 points in 78. 79, he had 84 points. His last season, his junior, his draft year, another big 52 goals and 140 points. He was a WHL All-Star second team in 1980 and was captain of the Cougars that year. He was ranked number 11 in the draft prospect round by the Hockey News, but I still don't know understand why he went so late. But look at the people who are taking ahead of him. Doug Wickenheiser, Dave Babbage, Denny Savard, Larry Murphy, Darren Veach, Paul Coffey, Rick Lance, Fred Arthur, Mike Bullard, Jimmy Fox, Mike Blaisdell, Rick Wilson, Denny Sear, Jim Malone, Jerome Dupont, Brad Palmer, Brent Sutter, and then Barry Patty Peterson, and Gagne and Patrick whatever. A tremendous draft in 1980. Now, he had his first game with the Bruins on October 24th, 1980, and did play one more year with the Cougars in that split year. Now, he would return for one more season in Victoria after being drafted with 147 points in 55 games, another 5 points in a 9-game stint in Boston. Now, he broke into the NHL fully in the 82 season, setting the Bruins record for goals with 44, which still stands, and points with 92, and finished runner-up to Dale Hawerchuk for the Calder as the league's top rookie. Including his 92 points was a 7-point effort against the Whalers, which also remains a Bruin rookie record. Peterson and star winger Rick Milton had instant chemistry and would be one of the league's most dangerous duos for several seasons. Of course, the 83 playoff, that infamous series against Buffalo, where Milton broke the record for points for a single series. Now, in 83, he finished with 46 goals and 107 points. He led the Bruins in assists and points and finished fifth in league scoring, the only player in the top 8 not to eventually make the Hockey Hall of Fame. In the postseason, he was taking the game to another level as he and Middleton wreaked havoc, combining for 65 points in just 17 games before losing out to the honors in the conference finals. Pedersen finished third in playoff goals and points despite not reaching the finals. Now, he continued his exploits in 84 with 39 goals and 77 assists for 116 points. His assists and point totals again led the Bruins, and his point total placed him 6th in the NHL. His 77 assists were third in the league behind Gretzky and Paul Coffey. He played his second consecutive NHL All-Star game and also played for Team Canada at the 84 Canada Cup, where he won gold. Now, at this point, Pedersen, despite being only 23, was on par with players such as Denny Savard, Michel Goulet, Ron Francis, and Hawerchuk, all of whom went to the Hall of Fame. However, his career would take a turn in summer '84 when he was diagnosed with a benign tumor in his shoulder. Initially, they thought it was cancerous, but sometimes benign is just as bad as cancerous, because at least in cancer you can treat it. He returned for only 22 games for the '85 season, posting 12 points before a second more serious surgery had to be performed on the shoulder. This procedure required the removal of part of his shoulder muscle and forced him to miss the remainder of the season. Now, when he returned to Boston's lineup for the '86 campaign, he did not perform at the level he had prior to his injury. He finished the season with respectable totals of 29 goals and 76 points, good for fourth on the team, but a 40-point drop from his last healthy year 2 seasons previous. At the conclusion of the season, Harry Sinden gave up on him, trading him to Vancouver for Cam Neely, and again the first-round draft pick in '87, which turned out to be Glenn Wesley. For the '87 season, he finished with 24 goals and the team-leading 52 assists for 76 points. It was named Canuck MVP by both the team's media and fans. In '88, he again led the team with 52 assists, but added 19 goals for 71 points. He remains one of only 4 players in Canuck history, along with Andre Boudria, Thomas Gaudin, and Henrik Sedin, to record consecutive 50-assist seasons. But in '89, he slumped to just 16 goals and 41 points, while missing almost 20 games due to injury. Dogged by comparisons to Neely, the Canucks dealt with the Penguins 16 games in the 1990 season. Peterson would continue to struggle in Pittsburgh, finishing the season with just 6 goals and 31 points in 54 games between the Canucks and Penguins. Now primarily a utility player, he appeared in just 46 games in '91, but was a member of the Penguins team that won the Stanley Cup that year. Released by the Penguins that summer, he signed with the Whalers, but was released after only 5 games. He would then re-sign with the Bruins. At the end of the '92 season, he retired at the age of 31. Now, getting about the Neely trade, in the summer of '86, Peterson was considered a valuable commodity. Still just 25, he was considered one of the best young centers in the game. He had already posted 200-point seasons and was only 2 years removed from finishing third in NHL assists and 6 in points. To the offense-starved Vancouver Canucks, who were the third lowest scoring team in the league the previous year, he looked like a savior that had the added attraction of being a local boy. While originally from Saskatchewan, he played his junior hockey, of course, in the Nanaimo Victoria from the age of 15 onward. However, Boston management were convinced that, despite Pettersson's age, his best years were behind him as a result of 2 surgeries. During the '85 season, he removed that tumor. On June 6, '86, the Canucks signed Pettersson as a restricted free agent. Cam Neely was left unprotected in Vancouver and went to the Bruins, along with that first-round draft pick. The 9th overall pick in the '83 NHL entry draft, Neely's development had stagnated, and he finished the '86 season with just 14 goals. However, Boston covered his size and toughness and considered him a potential heir apparent to the Bruins players of the past, such as Terry O'Reilly and Wayne Cashman. Now, Neely scored 36 goals in his first year in Boston. The next year scored 42, was named the second All-Star team. But in the 1990 season, he was the most feared power forward in the game, as respected for his natural scoring touch as his ferocious fighting ability. While Neely's career was cut short by injury, he still registered 3 50-goal seasons and was inducted to the Hockey Hall of Fame in 2005. At the same time, Peterson had 2 solid seasons in Vancouver, but his career went into a spiral afterwards, mostly because of injuries, becoming a marginal NHL player by the time Vancouver dealt him away. He registered less than 100 points past the age of 27 and was out of the game by '92. Wesley was also strong with a 20-year career. Now, again, more of him and his wife, Patricia, have 2 beautiful children, and the family resides in Swampscott, Massachusetts. Now, Pettersson now serves as an audio analyst for Bruins coverage on NESN and is a financial advisor for UBS Financial Services in Boston. Now, again, BC JHL Colson's second All-Star team in '78, WHL second All-Star team in 1980, WHL first All-Star team in 1981, All-Star Game selections '83-'84, Stanley Cup champion in '91. He did play again with the Maine Mariners to wrap up his career. So total games 701, 238 goals, 654 points, big 52 points in 34 playoff games, 83 in the playoffs. What outstanding numbers. 32 points in 17 games, 14 goals. Now, at the Worlds in '87, he had 5 points in 10 games. Now, the benign tumor, December '84, missed majority of the season. Then the trade for Neely and Wesley. Then traded by Pittsburgh by Vancouver with Rob Busquets and Tony Tatti for Dave Capuano, Andrew McBain, and Dan Quinn. Signed as a free agent by Hartford, and then traded to Boston by Hartford for future considerations. Now, Pettersson won several awards with Boston, including the 7-Player Award in '82 and a Gallery Gods Award MVP. Now, the broadcasting career has been quite strong, yeah, well put together from after his regular seasons. Now, the big trade is still talked about in Boston and Vancouver, but you never know what's going to happen with something like that. But his career is basically one that, for a lot of people, was unfinished. I think that Pettersson would have got injury, but it could have been congenital. It could have been, hockey related. But Barry Peterson at his peak again, if he would have basically kept him and traded for Neely with some other bastion of players, he had a whole bunch of players. Maybe hockey would have been different. But what Cam Neely gave to Boston is what Peterson was giving them for a while and more. So the reason why he treasured Cam Neely, because he thought he'd be another Barry Peterson. You can't have maybe two of these same players at the same team. A team can't function with two big power forwards. Like, Philadelphia never had two Eric Lindroses, if you know what I'm saying. But Peterson, I saw him play this bug. It was friggin' outstanding, this guy. He had aspects of Esposito. He had aspects of a little bit of Stefan Richer. Him and Middleton worked like, the master and the servant, like Kung Fu. I mean, it was tremendous. And Nesson has all those tapes, so you want to see how good Barry Peterson is. Check some of these highlights from his key years in Boston. It's just tremendous. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you like what you're doing here with our Boston Bruins podcast, let us know in the like, comment, subscribe, or share.